Hey guys, so today I'll be showing you my custom high-grade 1144 full armor Gundam from the original Gundam series. So originally, as you can see here, the main body is from the full armor Gundam Thunderbolt version. The giveaway is already the elbow joints and also the knee joints. Um, the chest, the waist, and the whole leg and the shoulder armor and bicep is from the Thunderbolt version, while the lower arm is from, I think, a scrap high grade impulse, because the Thunderbolt lower arms is not, I would say, accurate to the line art of the original full armor Gundam, so I decided to use another kit's lower arm for the arm here, and I just changed the polycap so it can fit the joint of the Thunderbolt version. And I also use some build knuckle hands for the hands, because again the hands from the Thunderbolt version are different from the original Full Armor Gundam. And the head is from the entry grade 2009 version. I just repainted it into the Full Armor colors because the Thunderbolt again has a different sculpt on the head. The arm cannons here are from um, the campaign version of the weapons, wherein when you buy a model kit on a toy store, you get a free random weapon. So that's how I got this one. The shoulder cannon here is a combination of the arm mounted arm mounted cannons of the Thunderbolt version, as well as the bazooka of the high grade RX-78, the original one. And then I just spotted out the and carved the cuff here into a circular version, because the Thunderbolt version has a square shape on it, more angular. So I rounded those thigh here, or the calf area here, so that it's accurate on the line art. And I just repainted the whole kit into the original full armor colors, which is a forest green, orange, some red, light gray that's almost white, and some yellow on the camera lenses, like the lens on the back, the camera lens on the head, and the eyes. As for the accessories, they're all already mounted on the kit itself. The arm mounted cannons here can rotate on the arm all over, and it's a twin barreled arm cannon, just like in the line art. It doesn't have a shield because in the original series or original manga and the line art, it doesn't use any shield, because again it's already armored up, so it can protect itself even without a shield. And then the knees here are supposed to be missile launchers, but in the high grade version they don't open up to reveal missiles, as well as the front skirts here and the shoulders here are also supposed to be missile launchers, but again on the 1144 version they don't open up, unlike the master grade version. But I think the P Bandai origin version of the full armor Gundam can open up the chest or the shoulders here, as well as the knees. I'm not so sure, I haven't seen it yet. And then the shoulder cannon here can move up and down a little bit on the polycap here on the hinge, but I'm afraid of moving it because the joint is very tight because of the paint, so it might break, and I'm afraid of moving it because it already broke one time, and it might break again if I try to move it. So those are the original accessories of the kit. It doesn't have any beam sabers, but in the origin version, the beam sabers are stored on the back skirt here. Um, I don't have any extra beam sabers, so I decided to just leave it out, because the full armor Gundam doesn't use any beam sabers in the manga. I think it only just barrages the enemies from far away or mid range with its long range weapons and the missiles. So those are the only accessories that comes with the kit. The neck is on a double ball joint, so the head can go up about that far and then down that far. Side to side, not much because of the bulky body, and also rotation can only go about that far. For the arm, it's on a ball joint, which makes the shoulder move forward and back, and also up and down by itself. And then there's a separate joint on the inside of the shoulder armor, which lets the arm go out about that far. The whole arm can also rotate all the way around from the ball joint here on the body. And then for the elbows or the bicep, it can rotate all the way around. The elbow joint is on a double ball joint or double hinge joint, which can bend about that far. And then the hands are on ball joints, so they can rotate and wiggle around. And also there's a separate hinge on the lower wrist here, which lets the hand go forward and back just like so. For the torso, it's on a ball joint here on the mid torso, which makes it go forward about that far, only a little bit, and go back a little bit as well, side to side nothing, and rotate about that far. For the front skirts, they can move out about that far. They are on ball joints, but you can separate them, but they can only move a little bit because of the bulky body, and also the paint made it more stiff. And then the side skirts can move a little bit, and the back skirt doesn't move, it's fixed pose. And then there's a separate hip action which lets the hip rotate by themselves, as you can see here. And then the legs itself, or the legs themselves, are on a peg which lets the leg go forward about that far, go back until it hits the back skirt, out to the side about that far. And then there's a separate rotation here on the hip which lets it rotate all the way around. And then the knees are on double joints, which can bend about that far. And then the foot is on a hinge and ball joint combo here on the lower leg, which lets it move forward and back. And then the ball joint itself lets the foot go forward and back on its own, side to side, and also rotate about that far. And then the foot guard is on a hinge, which lets it move forward and back or up and down if the paint didn't make it stiff. So here is the full armor Gundam next to the origin version of the RX-78, next to the 30th anniversary RX-78, although it's on in the prototype Gundam colors, and the Revive RX-78 in the G3 colors. Overall, I really like how this kit turned out. Using some parts from the Thunderbolt and the other Gundams made the full armor here more unique than it's supposed to be, because the Thunderbolt version is very far away from what the original full armor Gundam looks like. And what I did is I just changed the shoulder armor here, because originally the shoulder armor from the Thunderbolt version has a lot of thrusters here on the shoulder, so I removed the ones on the front and the back as well as on the top, and just retained the one on the bottom here. And then for the chest, I didn't do anything on it. I just repainted it so it retained the original chest as well as the waist area here. As for the legs, there's a lot of changes that needs to be done here on the legs, because the circular things here on the legs are supposed to be covered up on the full armor version, but in the Thunderbolt version it's hollow, so I just put some putty here and painted it orange. And then the knee here, it's supposed to be a different sculpt of the knee, but I just decided on just retaining the original shape of the Thunderbolt version and just reshape the uh, calf area here on the inside, because it's a bit not accurate when you retain the edged calf area instead of using the rounded version here. And I also just retained the thruster here, because the thruster is supposed to be a different shape, but I couldn't find any extra thruster that's the exact same as the full armor Gundam, so I just decided to retain the original version. The feet are also different from the original full armor Gundam, and I couldn't find any full armor Gundam or as the same shape as the full armor original full armor Gundam for the foot, so I decided to just retain the Thunderbolt version. And then the arms, as I've said earlier, the lower arms is from the Impulse because I couldn't find any that's a little bit armored up for the lower arm. And then that's it really for the modifications that I did for this guy, and I think that it turned out really great. I made this guy years before they even announced the P Bandai version of the Full Armor Gundam. Although it's the origin version, it's almost the same as the original Full Armor Gundam. The only difference is the sculpt because it's using the high grade origin version as the base, and then the armor is from the original Full Armor Gundam. So you can, if you want an anime accurate or a lore accurate Full Armor Gundam that is not the origin version, you can use, I think, either the 30th anniversary high grade version or the revive version and put the armor on them so you can have an original Full Armor Gundam that is not the origin version if you want to, and just repaint the whole thing without the armor so it's accurate. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye!